A dramatic late surge at the Emirates Stadium saw Arsenal defeat Everton 2-0 in the Premier League, with teenage prodigy Max Dowman writing his name into history. For most of the afternoon, the match appeared destined to end in frustration for Arsenal, as Everton's defensive resilience repeatedly denied the league leaders. But in the final minutes, the game was transformed by the introduction of Dowman, whose creativity and composure produced a decisive assist and a record-breaking goal that sent the Emirates crowd into raptures. From the opening whistle, Arsenal controlled possession and territory, circulating the ball patiently while probing Everton's defensive structure. Manager Mikel Arteta deployed an attack built around fluid movement between midfield and the front line, with wide players stretching Everton's back four. Despite this dominance, Everton proved difficult to break down. Missing key defensive figures such as James Tarkowski, the visitors reorganized effectively, with makeshift defenders stepping in to protect goalkeeper Jordan Pickford. Pickford produced several crucial saves during the match as Arsenal attempted to convert their territorial advantage into goals. By the later stages of the game, the hosts had fired more than 20 shots, yet the scoreline remained locked at 0-0. Everton were not without threat themselves. Their most dangerous moment came when winger Dwight McNeil struck the post, reminding the home side that the match could swing either way if Arsenal continued to waste opportunities. The turning point arrived in the 74th minute when Arteta introduced 16-year-old midfielder Max Dowman from the bench. What followed was a performance that immediately justified the manager's faith. The teenager injected urgency and creativity into Arsenal's attack, finding space between Everton's defensive lines and accelerating the tempo of the game. With just a minute remaining in regulation time, Dowman played a decisive role in breaking the deadlock. A chaotic defensive sequence saw Pickford deflect the ball onto Piero Hincapié, and the loose ball fell perfectly for Victor Gyökeres, who tapped into an empty net to give Arsenal the lead in the 89th minute. After nearly 90 minutes of frustration, the breakthrough finally arrived. If the opening goals sparked relief, what happened next ignited pure celebration. Deep into stoppage time, Everton pushed forward in search of an equalizer, even sending Pickford into the Arsenal penalty area for a late corner. When Arsenal cleared the ball, Dowman seized the opportunity. The teenager surged forward on a remarkable solo run from his own half before calmly finishing to secure the victory. The goal not only sealed the 3 points, but also made Dowman the youngest scorer in Premier League history. At just 16 years and 73 days old, the young midfielder delivered a moment that Arsenal supporters will remember for years. Arsenal's victory reflected both their patience and their depth. For long periods, the hosts struggled to penetrate Everton's deep defensive block, which crowded central areas and forced Arsenal into crosses and long-range efforts. Arteta's decision to introduce Dowman ultimately proved decisive. The teenager's willingness to carry the ball directly at defenders disrupted Everton's structure and created the unpredictability Arsenal had been lacking. Everton's defensive discipline kept them competitive for most of the match, but their inability to maintain concentration in the final minutes proved costly. The victory carried enormous implications for the Premier League title race. Arsenal's win pushed them further clear at the top of the table, strengthening their pursuit of a First League championship in more than 2 decades. Combined with Manchester City's draw against West Ham earlier in the day, the result extended Arsenal's advantage and reinforced their growing belief that the title could finally return to North London. Football regularly produces dramatic moments, but few are as memorable as a teenage debutante seizing the spotlight on the biggest stage. Max Dowman's late heroics did more than secure 3 points. They announced the arrival of a remarkable young talent. With courage, composure, and a touch of brilliance, the 16-year-old transformed a tense afternoon into a historic one for Arsenal. For a club dreaming of ending its long wait for the Premier League title, Dowman's breakthrough may prove to be one of the defining moments of the season.